On International Day of Persons with Disabilities, I was privileged to attend a parliamentary event to mark the day with Shadow Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, Owen Smith, and Shadow Minister for Disabled People, Debbie Abrahams.
It is an important day, but the one thing that strikes me often on days like today is that it can't just be a day. It can't just be a day when we seek to celebrate the contribution made by disabled people. It can't just be a day when we think about the scale of the challenges that still face people with disabilities in our country. It has to be an ongoing process. Debbie said a moment ago that we have 12 million people living with long-term illness or disabilities in this country. It is a huge, untapped potential that we have in Britain, in our communities. Successive governments of both colours have failed to, I think, deal adequately with putting in place the mechanisms to properly empower, properly engage, properly tap the potential of people with disabilities, and crucially allow them to feel enabled to play a full part in their communities, in the world of work.
I was lucky enough to catch up with Debbie and speak to her about what she considered important for the day.
I think there are a multitude of issues that are facing disabled people. And I feel as a non-disabled person myself, it's not appropriate for me to identify those. What I want to do is to engage with disabled people to get their views of the barriers that still face people 20 years on from the Disability Discrimination Act.
What, in your view, is the most important thing that the government should be doing on the theme of inclusion, which is for the International Day of People with Disabilities this year?
Well, I think they should be listening to them. What we've seen over the last 5 years is a host of cuts in support to disabled people of all ages. We know that £23.8 billion has been taken from 3.7 million disabled people, and that's support that is needed by them, by their families, to care for them. So I feel very strongly that that is something that is wrong, and they should think again about, and they should be listening to disabled people. For example, the Extra Cost Commission, who've estimated that a disabled person has additional costs of £550 a month more just because of their disability. They should recognise that disabled people are twice as likely to be living in poverty, and listen to them about what this means about their lives and about them being able to live equal and fulfilling lives in society.
It was a busy week reporting on disability issues in Parliament. I can only hope that the discussion of these issues raised leads to greater accessibility and inclusiveness for all disabled people.